These are the seeds. Azolla reproduces by spores, so it will split itself into many different parts.
Harvesting is done using a sieve. The azolla is then washed, mixed with commercial feeds, then fed to the livestock. Hi guys, welcome to Kijani Farmstead. In this channel, we share all our adventures in the farm. We are all about farm, food, and fun. Hi guys, welcome back to the farm. As you know, I've been in the journey to reduce the cost of feeding my livestock, particularly my poultry, while sustainably increasing their productivity. Today, let's dive into the wonderful world of Azolla. For those new to Azolla, this is a small aquatic fern that grows on surface of freshwater bodies and is packed with essential nutrients for poultry and other livestock. Please join me as I learn and set up Azolla pond in my farm. Before setting my Azolla space, I went into a learning mission. Here I did a lot of research. I also visited several farmers to get to know the A's and B's of Azolla farming. One of the farmers I visited was Geoffrey, commonly known as Young Farmer on YouTube. He has a lot of experience in Azolla farming.
Hello guys, welcome to my farm. My name is Geoffrey. I'm the young farmer. The main reason why we started farming it was to cut down on the cost of the poultry farming. So here is my Azolla farm. So in starting your Azolla pond, I've said you have to look up. First, you have to ensure you have shade. Shade is very crucial for the growth of the Azolla. Two, you have said that you have to not have your water should not be saline. Azolla does very well in a pH of 7.0. That is the optimal pH. So it will also survive in a range of from 4.0 to 9.0. Here we use only cow dung. In farming of Azolla, when you use other manures like the chicken manure, is very acidic. So when you put it in your Azolla pond, your Azolla will dry up. We encourage all the farmers to be using the dry cow dung. When you take a dry cow dung that is not more than 5 days old, you mix it with water to form a slurry. So that slurry is what we had in our pond as the manure. This is cow dung.
So here you're forming the slurry?
Yeah, yes, this is where we use it here. Here is where we form the slurry. As you can see, we will only need to add water here.
So this is just dry cow dung?
Yes, plus, yes,
water.
Yes, no, dry, this is what we use. We take it when it's this dry, then we mix it with water, just form that slurry. That slurry is what we had the Azolla pond. Yes. So after having your slurry ready, and after establishing your pond, which should not be less than 1 foot. If you have a depth of less than 10 centimeters, you will be mixing the Azolla with the manure that you have applied. So we always encourage farmers to do it up to the 20th centimeter. That's when you're harvesting, you won't be disturbing the base of the pond. Yes. Yeah. So after now you have done that 20 centimeter level and you have added your manure in the pond. Next is now to introduce your Azolla seeds. So, for example, these are the seeds. Azolla reproduces by spores, so it will split itself into many different parts. So if you are now introducing your Azolla to the pond, I always encourage farmers to do this. Rub it. When you rub it, it will and it will also split the Azolla into many parts. These parts have roots. Each part has its own root. So these are individual plants now you have created. So when you do this, like for a kg and you rub them, the pond will like this pond will be full in less than 7 days. But when you do it in like a kg without rubbing it, it will take more than 7 days to 14 days maybe to fill this pond. So this is a trick we use just to increase the multiplication rate. Yes.
So like for this size of a pond, you can just introduce a kg and within 7 days it will be full.
Yes. This pond is 8 meters. Yeah. In 8 meters, if you introduce a kg, the first 7 days it will be already be full. But we do it the harvesting on the 14th day. Simply on the 14th day is that the Azolla will have formed a very dense mat. As you can see, this is a dense mat. So it will have formed another bigger the dense mat. That is the time now you start harvesting. When you give it to the 14th day, the multiplication will be also high because you have a large number of the Azolla in the pond. Yeah, we have a smaller pond. This is what we do to small-scale farmers when they come here for learning. We do this to teach them. So this pond, this is 4 by 6 feet. This pond has an harvesting potential of 1 kg daily. You can be harvesting a kg from this pond daily. And you can see the dense mat I was saying. You can see how it's very dense. This is the time now you are ready to harvest. If you plant like this one and leave it for 14 days, even this in 14 days this will be full. When you start harvesting, you will be harvesting a kg. That kg for this pond will be like 30%. You will leave the 70% to reproduce. And for this pond, the manure requirement is 1 kg. You do 1 kg daily. They are not 1 kg after every 14 days. That is the time you will be. After every 14 days, you do a kg of the mbolea. Yes. Your Azolla will always remain green. So there are the challenges which farmers may face when they are doing Azolla. Sometimes your Azolla may turn from green to brick red. When your Azolla is brick red, it always encourages you to add manure. So that's what always notifies me. You can see the difference from here. You can see a small difference here. So this pond, we did apply manure yesterday. This is the same it had given us. And there, you can spot a difference there. It's not the same as this one. That is because of the exposure to sunlight. This pond is always exposed to the sunlight here. So it's the one which is affected majorly by the sun.
Tell us something about the material for coming up with the pond.
There are people who will choose to use containers. You can do Azolla in small containers like the basins. You can use the industrial drums and foam traps. You can still do your Azolla there if you are a small scale farmer. There are people who will also do like a pond like this one. For this pond, we have used the Mjengo paper. This is the construction paper. It's the cheapest one in the market. A roll goes for 2,500. When you have a roll, you can do all these ponds with one roll. Yes, so it is the cheapest way. Here we have the dam liner there. There is a 1 millimeter dam liner. We acquired it from Upford. They are selling 400 per square meter. This is good for the hustlers. That is durable. So if you are an hustler, you want to start your pond, you have to go this. Because it will take you, say you are doing a pond of 8 meters, it will only take less than 2,000 to do that pond. Because you acquire the kg of the Azolla at 1,000, then the paper is 100 per meter. So if you want to do something cheap and small, you go for the construction paper. If you want to go something durable, you go for the dam line.
So like this one. So the first step I did was to get the materials. I started by getting the following items. The first one is manure. This is well decomposed cow manure, which is preferred for best results. Number 2 is the dam liner. This I purchased from Afrodrip Limited. The third one is Azolla seeds, which I got from Young Farmer. A bucket, sieve for harvesting and wood cuts, and 1-inch nails to hold the dam liner in position, and plastic washers to prevent the nails from tearing the dam liner. The second step was to set up the pond. I identified a spot in the farm which had good tree cover and looked suitable for Azolla farming. Azolla requires only 50% of sunlight for optimal growth. If given 100% direct sunlight, it will turn to brown and productivity will significantly diminish. A green color always signifies good growth of Azolla. To achieve a good shade, it's recommended to set the pond in a greenhouse or cover the top with a shade net. Based on the space available, I decided to sink 2 ponds, each measuring 4 meters by 2 meters with a depth of around 1.5 feet. The third step was to line the pond, add water and manure. So after sinking the ponds, we lined them with dam liners. Dam liners are made of HDPE material, which makes them more durable. They come in different thickness, that is the 0.5 millimeters, 0.75 millimeters, and 1 millimeter. In our case, we purchased the 0.5 millimeter dam liner, which is meant to last for up to 10 years. The size of the dam liner we used was based on the size of our ponds. Note that if you don't have a dam liner, you can still use the black polythene paper, the one that is used during construction, which is way cheaper but lighter and less durable. That is, it lasts up to around 6 months. We secure the dam liner in place using wood cuts and nails. We also used the white plastic washers, this one we made it by ourselves, from plastic containers to prevent the nails from tearing the dam liner. We also ensured that dam liner is slightly above the ground level to prevent runoff water, dirt, and frogs from entering the pond. After setting up the pond, we added water to a depth of around 1 feet. This is to give the Azolla enough floating space and make harvesting easy. Next, we used decomposed manure to prepare a slurry, which we added into the pond. The slurry helps to break down the large masses of manure for fast enrichment of the pond water. Step 4 was to plant the Azolla. We had purchased 3 kilograms of Azolla seeds from young farmer, so we planted 1.5 kilograms per pond. As you can see, I'm now planting the Azolla. I'm rubbing the seeds in my palm to break into smaller pieces to spread throughout the pond. The Azolla will quickly multiply and cover the entire surface of the pond. Stay tuned to see the progress in the coming videos. Step 5 was care, harvest, and feeding the livestock. So it's advisable to monitor the water levels and top up when low. The Azolla should maintain the green color as it grows. Should it turn to a different color, it means it needs to be checked. That is, the manure content needs to be checked, or exposure to direct sunlight. Regularly, we'll be cleaning the pond to remove unwanted materials like leaves and branches. After 14 days, Azolla will fill the pond and it will be ready for harvest. Harvesting is done using a sieve. The Azolla is then washed, mixed with commercial feeds, then fed to the livestock. Azolla has high protein content of about 25 to 30%. With this, you'll produce healthy and heavy livestock. And there you have it, an easy way to set up a Azolla pond. With little care and attention, you will enjoy steady supply of nutritious superfood for your poultry and other livestock. Stay tuned for more videos where I'll share my experience on Azolla farming. Thanks for joining me today. Happy farming. Kwaheri.